Hi everyone, welcome to this video where we will learn about AWS Backup. So before we begin with today's video, let me give a quick introduction about myself. My name is Aishwarya Sood and I am working as a lead coach in the AWS domain at Ethnos, and I have more than 2.7 years of experience into the AWS training and development. I am an Amazon authorized instructor, AWS Academy accredited educator, 3x AWS certified, and AWS Academy graduate as well. And you can connect with me on LinkedIn. The profile name is given here. Also, you can scan the given QR code to directly view my profile. So let's begin with today's video. Let me tell you about the agenda for this particular video. We'll get started with a quick introduction to what are backups and why they are needed, and what are the benefits of backing up to AWS specifically. Then we will move ahead with the AWS backup service, which is a highlight for today. And how does it work? What are all the components that we get in the AWS backup, which gets it working? And we'll see on console how does it work. Okay, we'll create a backup plan for like on-demand backup and a scheduled backup for the Amazon EBAs. Also, we will learn about a few use cases and some customers who got benefited by using AWS backup. So before we get started with the AWS backup, firstly let me tell you that why there is even a need to backup our data. Backup is nothing but generally some copies of your data which can be used in the case of the loss of the main data. So we all are aware about primary data failures, which can be the result of hardware or software failure, or maybe some sort of data corruption or a malicious attack, or maybe even the accidental deletion of data. Therefore, the purpose of the backup is to create a copy of the data that can be recovered in the event of primary data failure, so that you are not blank in the case of a failure. Okay, you might be thinking that I might have lost the entire data. That should not happen. That's why if a backup is there, you are safe. So backup copies will allow the data to be restored from an earlier point in time to help it recover from an unplanned event, so that you can keep your application or the system going. As we know, the growth of enterprise data accelerates, the task of protecting it becomes even more challenging. Okay, because data is growing too much. The systems, every application is having too much of data. So it's quite challenging to keep the backups of them to protect the resources. So we have different options available on AWS to make this process even easier. So today in this video, we will be focusing on one of such services, that is AWS Backup. So before we discuss about what is AWS Backup, we will discuss a few benefits of backing up our data to AWS. So with AWS, you can scale up your infrastructure on an as needed pay-as-you-go pricing model, and you get access to the same highly secure, reliable, and fast infrastructure that Amazon itself uses to run its own global network of websites. And it also gives you the flexibility to manage and optimize the resources during a disaster recovery event, which can result in significant cost savings also. So some of the benefits of backing up to AWS include the enhanced data durability and availability. The cloud storage solutions in AWS that are present, like Amazon S3, Amazon EBAs, different have different durability and availability percentages available, and they deliver increased durability of 11 nines by synchronously storing your data across multiple facilities. So copies of every object are distributed across at least 3 physical AZs that are miles apart within an AWS region. So even when practicing industry best practices, on-premises capabilities cannot match the AWS durability due to the global scale of it, because your on-premises can't be spread across the global region, right? But AWS has its presence. That's why your data will be available at much distant locations, and it will help better in the case of recovering your data, because maybe one location fails but all the locations can't fail, right? And you have more security with AWS than the on-premises. All the customers of AWS benefit from the data centers and the network architectures that are built to meet the requirements of the most security sensitive organizations in the most regulated industries, which can include financial services, public sector, and healthcare. So these are the most crucial ones which are very, very concerned about security. They can also benefit. And also you have the access to the latest machine learning and analytic tools. So with this, you can extract the insights from the data sets that in traditional backup architectures would sit idle until recovered for production. Okay, you have the data available as a backup. You integrate with machine learning. Okay, you get the insights out of it. It doesn't have to sit idle. So two purposes can be solved from the same thing. Now, resources to consider for backups mostly include the compute resources, because in case a failure happens, first of all, you need to have your servers ready. So make sure any sort of AMIs maybe that are needed, they should be ready. Then the storage. Okay, so in storage you can consider Amazon S3 or EFS. For S3 also you should have the kind of like cross region replication enabled. You should have the backups of your data, or maybe versioning is enabled. Then EFS, EBS, you should have the point in time snapshots available so that you can recover from them in case of a failure. Then the databases like Amazon RDS, DynamoDB. So you have multiple capabilities in them like multi-AZ, and in DynamoDB you have global regions also, global tables, sorry. So global tables also you are having. So this kind of things should be used so that your data is present at multiple locations, and in case of a failure you can restore from there. It should not be a single point of failure that was present at only a single location. Then networks. So if you, even if you have your backups, but when a failure happens, how the traffic will be redirected, you should have the route 53 configurations. Okay, that how you have to route the traffic from a unhealthy to a healthy resource. The VPC network should be set up if you are having your on-premises infrastructure already, but as a backup infrastructure you have kept the infrastructure on AWS created in a VPC. So the load balancers would be helpful, and the direct connect can be helpful in such cases. So multiple resources are there, but under these four categories are the core resources that should be taken care, especially for the backups. Now let's talk about AWS Backup. I'll tell you a few points about it which can help you in understanding what the service does. It is a fully managed service that makes it easy to centralize and automate the data protection across AWS services in the cloud and on premises as well. Okay, so it's not just for AWS but for your on premises also. Using this, you can configure backup policies and monitor activity for your AWS resources in one place. It allows you to automate and consolidate the backup tasks that were previously performed service by service, and removes the need to create custom scripts and manual processes as well. Another thing is that you can enforce the backup policies, encrypt your backups, protect your backups from manual deletion, and even prevent the changes to your backup lifecycle settings. And also, most importantly, you can audit and report on backup activity from a centralized console to help meet your backup compliance requirements, so that you can keep an eye on what all things are happening in your backup activities. And it supports a lot of AWS services which include EBS, Amazon RDS, Amazon DynamoDB, EFS, FSx, Amazon EC2, and Storage Gateway to enable you to back up key data stores such as your storage volumes, databases, and the file systems. And together with AWS organizations, you can use AWS Backup to centrally deploy data protection policies to configure, manage, and govern your backup activity across your company's AWS account and resources. So what all happens is, first you get started with the AWS Backup, where it will be helpful to centralize all your backup activities. You create a backup plan in that, so that automatically on a schedule it will create the backup. You define the resources for which you want to backup. Your resources are protected according to the backup plan that you have specified, which will include when, at what all time it needs to take the backup, the frequency, and how long it should be preserved. And then from those backups that will be available, you can monitor them, you can configure them, you can restore from them, and you can even audit them by creating the reports. So few of the components that you will encounter while working with the AWS Backup, let me tell you. There will be backups which is nothing but a recovery point which represents the content of a resource such as Amazon EBS or Amazon DynamoDB table at some specified time. So recovery point generally is a term that refers to the different backups in AWS services such as EBS snapshots or the DynamoDB backups. So this recovery point and the backup, these two terms can be used interchangeably. Both have almost the same meaning. And then there are backup vaults. So the AWS backup saves the recovery points or the backups in the backup vaults, which is just a container that stores and organizes your backups. Your account will always have a default backup vault. If you require different encryption keys or access policies for different groups of backups, you can create multiple backup vaults. Okay. Otherwise, if you don't have such specific requirements, you can use a default backup vault. Then the backup plan is there, which is nothing but a policy expression that defines when and how you want to back up your resources. When you want to create a backup plan, you should specify these things like when to begin a backup process and the type of backup that should be there, like full or incremental. Then AWS backup stores your periodic backups incrementally. Then first backup of an AWS resources backs up the full copy of your data for other backups that will be done after that. It just gets only the changes that are made to your resources, only they will be backed up. Okay, they will be the incremental backups. First one will be the full, next ones will be the incremental, which copies only the changes that were made. And you specify backup frequency, the backup window, at what time of the day the backup should be taken, the region, and the retention policy, like how long the backup should be kept. And apart from this, we have backup audit manager, which can be used to audit the compliance of your AWS backup policies against the controls that you define. So what's a control in that? Control, you can say, as a procedure which is designed to audit the compliance of a backup requirement, such as the backup frequency or the backup retention period. So it helps you answer some of the questions like, am I backing up all my resources? Are all of my backups encrypted? And are my backups taking place daily? These are the kind of questions that you can answer once you have the audits and the reports with you. So we'll now go to AWS console and see how the AWS backup works, and then we will come back here to discuss further. So let's now go to AWS console and see how does this work. Here we are into the AWS console. What will be our first step? I'll create a EBS volume for which we will be creating the on-demand and the automated backups. So first of all, let's create a volume very quickly to be used with our backup. So we go to EC2, we go to volumes, and we click on create volume. And here we go. General purpose is okay for me. Size, let it be just 2 GB because I'm not going to use it with any of my instance as of now. This is just for demo purposes. AB South 1A is where I'm keeping it in the Mumbai region. So I will use a backup, AWS backup also in the same region. Okay, because the resource and the backup should be in the same region. Then snapshot ID, we are not creating the volume from a snapshot, we are creating it independently as a new. Do we want encryption? As of now, no. So I'll quickly click on create volume. Now I'll name it as volume for backup. Okay, so that we can recognize it, save it, and then let's go to the backup console. For that, just search it with the name of AWS backup and we'll reach here. Here we have the AWS backup console home. Okay, you can read about how it works, its benefit and features. Okay, what we'll do is we'll go to my account and then the settings first. Here in the settings, we will first of all specify that what all services should be enabled for backup in our case. Okay, so here you can see when I click on configure resources, you can toggle what all resources, what all services should be used for the backup or should be capable of having the backup. As of now, I have only enabled EBS. If you are creating a backup for any other service, you can toggle that as well. Let's say you want it for RDS or you want it for EC2, you can toggle that. But as of now, we do not need. So I'll click on confirm and we'll go ahead with the EBS. Now on the dashboard, if you go, You have three options here. So create a backup plan, create on-demand backup, or get started with the frameworks. Okay, so here frameworks is not needed as of now in this demo. We can get started with this, creating a backup plan for the automated backups on a schedule, or we can create an on-demand backup if we want it right now. So I'll click on create on-demand backup. What is the resource type for which we want the backup? Let me select EBS over there. And what is the volume ID? So we have this volume for backup. This is the one that we are using, right? And backup window, do you want to create a backup right now, or do you want to create it later on? So we want the backup right now. Okay, and retention period, how long your backup should be kept. I'll say specify it in number of days. I'll keep it to 1 day only. You can specify more as well, okay, in the years, weeks, or months also. Backup vault. Okay, so this is what I was telling while explaining through the slides. Here is where your backups will be kept once the backup is taken, the snapshot is taken, it will be kept here. So right now it is a default vault that is set up, that is selected. You can create a new backup vault if you have a different groups of resources used for different purposes and you want to keep their backups at different places with different preferences. Right now this is not the case, so I'll go ahead with the default backup vault itself. And then the IAM role, default role, it is selected automatically. Okay, if the AWS backup default role is not present, one will be created for you with the correct permissions. So if you keep this selected, it will create the role with the relevant permissions. Otherwise you can choose an IAM role if you have specific other permissions needed for your backup. I'll go ahead with the default role. Okay, you can add the tags to the recovery points or the backups. I'll not be adding it as of now. I'll just click on create on demand backup. So here you can see the one was the previous that I experimented earlier, okay, yesterday, but the current one that we are working on is this one, the backup job that is running for us now. So the job is created. I'll click on refresh to see, yes, it is running now, which means it is taking the backup. So you can find the progress of all the jobs in the jobs section that is available here. It will show the backup jobs that are running, the restore jobs, if any, that is running. So this was the old one which I did yesterday, and the copy jobs. Maybe if you want to copy your backup to some other region or some other account, that also you can track over here. As of now, we should look over to the backup jobs, and you can see this one is completed. So this is the current one that we just initiated. You can see July 13, 1:36 p.m. So this was the one that we got. Let us check the backup vaults if we have any available now. Let me track it. Okay, so let me check if it is the one that we got now. Yes, this is the one that is just created, July 13th. 1:36 p.m. Okay, so this is a snapshot that has been taken for my EBS volume. Which volume? I named it as volume for backup, and will match the ID of this with the volume that we created previously. So this is a snapshot created for that volume. Okay, you can check. Now if you select this, click on actions, you can even restore this. Let's say by chance you deleted that volume. Okay, now you want to restore it, you can do that. So we'll restore it later on. First we'll work for something else. Okay, volume for backup with this ID vol 0CB. Let me match it. Yes, this is the same one. Now this is a snapshot. This is a backup available. Let me go to the protected resources to show you something. So we have this volume who is protected. Okay, this EBS volume which is protected. For this, as of now, we just have this backup available. Okay, we can restore it from here. Now that was about how we create an on-demand backup of a resource. Similar process you can follow for any other resource as well. Now we will see that how do we create a backup plan which will automate the backup taking process on a particular schedule. I'll click on create backup plan. I can get started with a template which will select all the defaults for the best practices, and you can select the plans like daily it should take, and monthly also it should take, and 1 year should be the retention. Daily it should take, 35 day should be the retention. Daily it should take, weekly, monthly it should take, and 7 years should be the retention. But I'll build a new plan. Okay, you can even define a plan using the JSON if you want. So I'll build a new plan from the scratch using this option. Backup plan name, I'll say EBS volume backup. Okay, and then I'm not adding any tags as of now to this. Backup rule configuration, I'll name it as EBS backup rule. Okay, where we will specify what should be the frequency, what it should be kept in. So this also I will keep it in the default volt only. Then backup frequency, when it should be taken, every 12 hours, hourly, weekly, monthly, or you can even define a custom cron expression if you have some complex schedules. Okay, so I'll keep it as daily. And do you want continuous backups for the point in time recovery? Okay, you can specify this for if you are backing up the RDS or S3 resources. Okay, the point in time recovery in the sense like at any point of time, at any second, at any minute, the backup can be taken. So this point in time recovery is available only for a few resources. You can check it out. Then backup window, you want any preference, okay, or you want to use a default. The default is 5 a.m. UTC time and it will start within 8 hours. Customize, you can specify like with when it should start and when it should complete. If it doesn't start within the given time and if it doesn't complete within the given time, it will be marked as expired and you need to troubleshoot it later on. But as of now, we'll go ahead with the backup window defaults itself. That's okay as of now because we already have one backup available. Then transition to the cold storage. So do you want the backup to be transitioned to the cold storage? Okay. In case you want, you can specify. I don't want it, so I have deselected. Then retention period, how long it should be kept. I'll specify only 1 day it should be kept. Do you want to copy it to a destination like to a region, another region? You can specify it. And that's it. You will click on create plan. So the plan will be created here. Okay, you can see the EBS volume backup plan is created, and here we have the rule which has specified the frequency and retention preferences, and it will take the backup at the given time now. Now we have the backup plan available, backup rule available, but for what resource it should take the backup, that we have to assign. So we click on assign resources, and do you want all the resources to be selected or only specific resources? We will specify. Okay, specific resource type, we want EBS to be backed up. Which particular volume? I don't want all volumes, I just want this volume for backup. Its backup should be taken. Then do you want to exclude some specific resource IDs? That is not needed because we have selected all of them. Sorry, we have selected the specific one already. Then tags you can add, and here we have to give a name. Let's say EBS volume assign. Okay, then default role, I'll go ahead with the same and click on assign resources. Now for this particular resource which we have specified, that is EBS volume, which we created here, it will take the backup at the time that is specified in the EBS backup rule, which looks like this. So these are the configurations for this. Now we'll go back to the jobs. Okay, as of now there won't be any job because the automated backup will be taken at a specific time. Okay, and we have the protected resources here. So now what we will do is, because our on-demand backup is also ready, the automated plan is also ready, what we'll do is we'll delete this backup. Sorry, we'll delete this volume itself. I'll click on delete, and I'm sure I want to delete it so that I can show you how you can restore. So you go to the jobs. Okay, you have this backup available, the current one that was taken. You check it out. This is the one that you want to restore. Okay, then you go back to this protected resources, select this volume. Okay, and you have this snapshot available which you want to restore. As of now we have only one, so we are selecting this. If you have multiple, you will select the one that you need. Then you click on restore. Okay, you specify the configurations for the restored volume. Okay, as of now you can see I don't have that volume available, but now I'll have after restoration. So volume type, same one. Size, I still need the same one, 2 GB is fine. AZ, in which I want to keep now, same one, AP South 1A. That's it. Restore role, again the same default role, we are going ahead. Then click on restore backup. So it is in the pending status as of now. I'll keep refreshing to see when it is running and then it is completed. So we can track it all from here. See, this is now available in the restore jobs. So still it is pending, and I'll keep refreshing this side also. See, it is getting ready. You can see this is coming available because it is in the running state now, so it has reflected over the volumes also. So this is the one that I just created from the backup that was taken by the AWS backup. So this is how you can create an on-demand backup, a scheduled backup, and then you can restore from that backup. So that was done. Now what we will do is we'll try. I'll tell you how you can create an audit report also. So you just have to go to reports, click on create report plan. Okay, you have to choose a report template. I want the report for the backup jobs. You can get it for the restored jobs, you can get it for the copy jobs, or you can get it for the compliance reports as well. You click on any of them which you want. Let's say we want to create backup jobs. So then you will specify a name for this, and you can give a description also. You can give the tags. You can specify which formats of the report you want, and you have to specify a S3 bucket where the report should be sent. Okay, you can select any bucket which you have created, and then let's say I'm selecting this one. I'll not create it. I'll just show you a sample report that is available with me. I'm just telling you the process. So you need a S3 bucket already before you configure these things. Then you specify the permissions. So you just click on view access policies. Okay, see this, copy the permissions and paste it in the bucket which you have specified. It's bucket policy. Okay, or you can directly say edit bucket policy. It will take you to the page where you can copy paste this policy. Okay, once you are done with that, click on create report plan. Then in the S3 console, click on finalizing the bucket policy. Otherwise, before, if you have not created the report plan and you are trying to create the bucket policy there, it will throw a error. Okay, so make sure before you finalize the bucket policy there, click on create report plan. Okay, so it will be created. Now once you create it, go to your S3 bucket and you will have the report already available. Let me see if I have the report available, the previous one. Okay, I have not created a new one. The previous, if I have available, I'll show you. So this was the bucket for which I specified as a destination. This was a report that was delivered to my bucket previously when I was trying out this. So in this folder, account ID, then region, sorry, the AG, then the year, month, and the day, and finally the file. So we have the file available. If I click on this, I just click on open and it downloads the file. Okay, so in this, what is available? In the JSON format I selected. Okay, so what is available? That the backup job was completed. Its full details are given here. Okay, so this is how you can get a report for your backup activity. Now this is done. This is how you can work with the backup. Okay, and get started and use it for different cases. Let's go back to the slides and discuss a few more use cases and a few customers who got benefited from this, and we'll proceed towards the wrapping up of this session then. So you can use it for the you can use the AWS backup for the cloud native backups, because it provides a centralized console where you can track everything. So how this is, because many of you might be thinking that you have a data lifecycle manager also in the EBS. Why did I use a backup? So this is like how it is different. Backup will have the backup will have all the backups of other services also in the same console, but data lifecycle manager will be focusing on your EBS only, right? So you have to take the backups of each service separately. Here in the backup you have a centralized console. That is a main benefit, that you can go for backup over the individual services backups. Apart from this, it integrates with your storage gateway also, which is nothing but a hybrid cloud storage service that enables your on-premises applications to seamlessly use a AWS storage. So you can then use AWS backup to backup up your application data that is stored on your on-premises. and then the backups of AWS storage gateway volumes will be securely stored on the AWS, and they are compatible with EBS, which can allow you to restore your volumes to AWS or to your on-premises environment. So we'll see a few customers that got benefited using AWS Backup. Okay, I'll show you. You can also go to this link and see what are their stories, okay, how they got benefited. Let me show you, let me discuss one or two of them to discuss this. So there's an organization, Workday. What they say, AWS Backup centralizes all of our backup infrastructure in one place, freeing up our developers' time so that they can focus on building and enhancing the applications. And of course, that is more important. So apart from this, we have this organization, that is Wise. What they are saying, AWS Backup is extremely easy to set up and use, and it's much easier than any backup product we have used in the past, because it enables us to show our auditors what they need to see for maintaining compliance. And really, that's what we saw in the demo as well. So this is how AWS Backup is benefiting these customers as well. So it will benefit you as well. You can explore AWS Backup for multiple use cases of yours, and for sure it will help you. So that was it for today's video. We'll meet in the next video. I hope you have understood all the things. Thank you.